Hi guys, welcome and wow, what a week, what a transit. We have the solar transit sun in gate 15, which is called the gate of extremes. But before you start freaking out, don't, because we're here to help you navigate this energy. And just because the gate is called the extremes, it doesn't mean that something extreme is about to happen. However, it is about the balancing act. So what I want to do is I want to kind of give you my understanding of what we're dealing with now, and then I'm going to pass it over to Anita here because Anita has some really, really cool information in terms of relating this to your business this week. It could be a really crucial week for you, which I agree as well. So the way I see this energy of gate 15, it is about trying to slow down and pull back so you don't get caught up in the extremes of life. And extremes of life are not only all the big and shocking and adrenaline pinching things, right? It could be also boredom and dullness and just getting sick of things and wanting to stir things up. And I know a lot of times, even in our businesses, sometimes, we don't get the results we want. And so we just want to like burn it all to the ground or pivot or do something else. It's not really the week, in my opinion, to do so. However, it's really, really good to slow down, to observe and gain that awareness. Imagine that you're walking between the two tall buildings on a tightrope. You can't rush. You can't make impulsive decisions. You have to think, when is it safe to take the next stop? You have to observe, you have to pull back. And so it was very interesting when I was preparing for this video recording, I was thinking about, how important it is to slow down. And suddenly it was 11:11 in the morning. And as some of you know who follow me, at 11:11, my phone rings. There's an alarm that says slow down to accelerate. And I think that this energy is exactly about slowing down. And it's not about this, desired outcome that you don't have now or whatever is driving you and pushing you into these extreme situations. It is about the joy of the process itself. So this week is, and this energy is good to take inspired action when you feel like you want to do it, but do it with consideration. That's the way I see it. And it's also really good to network this week, but not network to get clients. Don't network to get clients. Don't network, with this feeling like I want something out of it. Network for the sake of building connections. And if you don't want to go to networking events, that's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. It's about being, just put yourself out there, be open for conversations, be open for collaborations. You never know what can happen. You can be surprised. This is the kind of week where, interesting things can come in. And the other thing with the grounding earth energy, which is in gate 10, gate of behavior of self, and it's all about authenticity. And that's another topic that is always like a subject of a lot of discussions with my clients. And it's about, how do you show up authentically? People can start overthinking what authenticity means. And sometimes you can feel like, oh, is it about other people maybe believing me? What shall I say so I can come up as most truthful and natural? And my personal experience is a little bit different to that. I think the authentic way is your way. And I give you a couple of like really like down to earth examples. For example, I'm a 1-3 profile in human design. What I love about human design is not that it tells you like the rule book how to live your life, but it explains certain things about you the way you are, so you can embrace that and accept that, right? 1-3 profile, both lines in this profile are in the lower trigram, which means that they are very introspective. This is all about you and your karmic lessons. And I sometimes joke that 1-3s walk around earth in bubbles. They don't really see people around them. They just see like blurry blobs. And it's all about whatever in this kind of tunnel vision allows them to see and then consume. And it's always this mental looking for the bottom line of this or that, right? So you can't be focused on other people. You're always focused on yourself. And of course, you talk about yourself a lot. And I do. Before, it was a big it was a point of trauma, actually. My mom once accused me of talking about myself too much and not listening, and she accused me of being selfish, and that really, really hurt. up until I learned that this is very natural to a person with this personality like mine. And so through that, I could see very clearly how I serve the rest through processing information and through sharing what is the bottom line that I see in this or that, right? And this is what being authentic is. It's accepting that something that you thought maybe is bad because the society says it's bad, your parents said it's bad, someone else said it's bad, it's actually not bad, it's you. So you show up as who you are. And that's something that I find is so magnetic. So this is the energy this week, is to lean into who you are and your authenticity, and discover that, and just do a little bit more of that. How does this feel for you, Anita?
Yeah, yeah, this is really cool. And also, I do have these gates in my unconscious nodes, the 10 and the 15. So I know all about this. Um, and also, part of human design is, whatever is defined on our chart, we experience consistently. But we're here to learn about the open spaces in our chart. So how you doing your thing teaches me how to embrace the 1-3 energy also, and teaches me to embrace being myself just as much as me being a 5-1 helps you to really practically apply that information. It's really cool how we're here to learn about these, but that 10-15 energy can be a real crux in business because there's a whole load of society or traditional or cultural teaching about how you should share, how you should market your business. The gate 15 is the love of others, the gate 10 is the love of self. So they both come off the G center. They teach us how to uniquely balance being ourselves. So, for example, they play together. The more I'm myself, the more magnetic I am in my marketing. The less I am myself, the more dull and invisible I become.
I
So
love that.
tell me about invisibility as a 5-1 projector, right? Invisible, 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 with 10-15 energy in my chart, more invisible. So my learning as a 5-1 has been, and this is why I work with you, Juliette, I have to do it my way. I have to mark it when I am feeling inspired, or forget it. It flops flat on its face, right? And part of working with me is people say, oh, you're just teaching another business formula. I'm there. No, I'm teaching you how to show up in your business so that you keep this magnetism alive, right? And our design helps us to do that. Otherwise, what happens is, look at the marketing, right? What does the client want? What does the client do? How is the client? Now, of course, you need to know that, right? But you need to take your own oxygen first. What do you need? What do you want to share?
I
What do
love
you
this.
need to do? Because if you're not sharing you, forget about it. Like, it's just the most, to me, it's a very toxic, creates a toxic business environment
Oh,
where
yes.
my clients go, oh, but I need clients. I need clients to have a successful business. And that is technically true, but that doesn't define you and your business. You need to be able to recognize that I'm brilliant at this. I'm brilliant at what I do. Juliette is brilliant at sharing her insights in marketing with respect to design. And, I need to own my brilliance so that I'm attracting the right people who need to know what they need to know with this. And, there's the whole glommy codependent, and codependent is the wrong word, miss out of balance of
Sinner. Oh, yes.
how I share, how I should share, how this, and
I
just is.
think that people don't trust themselves in generally, and I know this is slightly, it's not about this transit as such per se, but it's about trusting yourself, and you can trust yourself when you accept yourself. This is about the gate 10. This is about accepting your pace and accepting who you are, right? So building everything around you is key, but a lot of times, so many conversations, like what do they need to hear? It's not what do they need to hear. It's about understanding what is the point A that your clients come to you, that you're taking them from this point A to some sort of point B. And that could be like one aha moment for them to cross that line and shift. And that can change their lives, right? But you understanding this point A, this is what, when we're talking about, what are your potential clients going through? What are they, worried about? What are the pain points? It's just understanding who is the ideal person for you to help at this point A. That's all it is. It's not for you to try and predict what somebody will listen to or not. Because when you understand the point A, who is coming to you, as an expert, you can see very clearly what this person needs to hear, what this person knows already, what they bring to the table, so you don't need to waste your time. Then trusting yourself and your expertise and focusing on this. That's how marketing works. And actually, truly, that's how marketing really works. So we are misunderstanding. And sometimes some people, and I'm not going to point any fingers because I don't even have a specific person to point a finger at, but I see this over and over and over again when people are telling you in a wrong language to focus on others in a way that you think that you can't trust yourself. And
That's
that's me once calling bullshit out, right?
yeah.
This is what I'm here to do. So trust yourself. And this week, I think might be even test you. This is how the openness works. Actually, I don't have either of these gates in my design, but I have gate 5, which is a harmonious gate. But with the gate of extremes, it can be a tough week for me as well, because, it can kind of like pull me out of my own rhythm in a
That's
way.
absolutely, that's exactly what it's designed to do. It's designed to pull you out of a rhythm. Now, if the rhythm is toxic or if it's unhealthy for you, but if you know your natural rhythm for you to stay in your prosperous flow, now it's perfect. It's making you just really wonder, okay, am I in the right, do I need to tweak anything here to bring more flow? It's very, very cool, that 1510, because the 15 is in the logical circuitry. So it's the only gate I have in the logical circuit, right? Which means it's a total not thinking gate, but it's the
Mm.
gate, it's the energy that does disrupt your flow so that you can appreciate your flow, if that makes sense.
Oh,
And
absolutely, yes.
other transits that are helping as well, because the full moon is in the gate 10 this today, and we have today is the solstice, so we're moving in to that lovely gentle Cancer energy. So it is slow down, but the other transits are supporting us learning to trust ourselves. So Saturn is in Pisces in the gate 22, saying, embrace your inner beauty, your inner wisdom, your inner amazingness. And Neptune is in the final gate of Pisces, which is, yes, and trust in spirit. Trust that flow. It's really correct for you. And then the gate 15 is coming in and saying, yeah, and it feels so good if you know how to work this, right? So it's the Cancer version of, you need to feel okay at home first. You
I
need to,
love that. I love everything you said because it really, really resonates. Because you know what? People think we think as people that things need to happen very fast. And I
mm,
always say we didn't consciously remember how long it took us to walk, to learn to walk. Like some people take like a year and a half. Some people reach their 2.5 years old and they still don't walk very well. And it's nothing is wrong with them. It's just their slower pace, right? Or talk. It takes so long for these basic things that then we rely for the rest of our lives, and then when they're taken from us, this is a huge issue, right?
yeah,
So we forget how slow things happen, but we want everything happened really quick as adults. We don't want to take time to trust the process. And this is all the mind, this is all conditioning. Truly is slowly does it. And a lot of us are the tortoises that win the race. When we're trying to be a hare, we don't win the race, right? We just exhaust ourselves, fall asleep under the tree and miss the point. And I find that, my personal story is definitely when I slowed down in my business, when I created only essential activities, not created, but chose only essential activities that I want to do, that I want to spend my time on, the business started growing. And before that, all the hustle and, trying to do things every day, being in the doing mode all the time, it brought what I call a broken tap results, right? So focusing and trusting the journey and focusing on what's natural to you. So if I'm a slow person, I'm not very physically active. Most of the time I sit, I do my exercises so I keep fit, but I'm not an active person. I can't have a hustle-based business model because it's not natural to me. I need to have a passive-ish business model where I can connect deeply with people. And that's, I think, is exactly this whole thing about slowing. For some of us, slowing down is good. And this week, maybe for most of us, slowing down is good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's a really good point because when I moved from science into energy work, the angels kept saying, take your own oxygen first, take your own oxygen first. And I was teaching people to do this, but I had grown up in the do work ethic, right? So the biggest thing that I see is wrong with that can go wrong with this is that we try to force our natural rhythm into daily routines that are predicted by other people, society norm, right? It can, and then we find it hard not to follow through. We find it hard to follow through. For me, I'm not designed for that natural rhythm. Yet, a rhythm that keeps me in my flow is perfect. But try to put me into a box that says you should do this, I immediately go, hey, who do you think you are telling me what to do, right? It's really funny. But it's important to recognize that to look this month or this week at where am I defining flow? How am I defining what my rhythm is? How am I defining what I should be doing in my business as opposed to how can I adapt what I know is an essential business element into my flow and my way of doing things so that I become prosperous? Because manifesting wise, if you're worried about not having enough clients, the universe keeps sending you not enough clients. So you
It's so
need
true.
to step out of that dynamic. And a lot of people are making a lot of money out of that.
That is true. And that's it's not to say that it's wrong. It's not to say any of that, but it's to say that be careful who you listen to. Be careful what you follow. Sometimes people don't say anything that's wrong, and for them it's correct, but it might not be correct for you. So focus on your tuning into your authority. What is your inner guidance tells you? Whatever way you're checking the correctness, whatever way your human design is. If you don't know your human design, you happen to listen to this, still tune in into your soul. Stop listening to the chatter. Stop listening to everything outside. What is true to you? What is authentic to you? What is natural to you? That is the right way, even though everybody else says it's the wrong way. Trust yourself. And I
Yeah.
want to finish this on a really good sort of phrase that, as I was researching, as I was thinking about this transit, I came. So this we have the solar transit in the gate of extremes. So here's the send off phrase. If that's okay with you, I needed to finish this off on this. So finding balance is key in time of extremes. Finding balance is key in time of extremes. If you're pushed anywhere this week, find your balance. Don't fall off that tightrope, right? Slow down to accelerate. Thank you guys. We'll see you in the next transit.